Take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, the rhythm of life moving through you. Now imagine if every worry, every stress, and every lingering doubt could simply melt away. What if you didn't have to struggle, force, or push so hard? What if everything you desire is already on its way to you the moment you let go? We spend so much of our lives trying to control every outcome, believing that if we just plan enough, work hard enough, or think long enough, everything will fall into place. But what if the opposite is true? What if the key to everything you seek isn't in holding on, but in releasing? There is a greater intelligence at work. The same force that moves the tides, grows the trees, and beats your heart without you even thinking about it. It knows what you need when you need it, and how to bring it to you. But when you resist, when you doubt, when you fear, you block the flow of this limitless energy. Look back on your life. When did the best things happen? Was it when you were gripping tightly? Or was it when you simply allowed? The right people, the right opportunities, the unexpected breakthroughs, none of them required you to force them. They arrived when you aligned with trust. So today, let go, relax, trust. The universe is already working on your behalf. The moment you surrender is the moment everything begins to shift. What you seek is already seeking you. You don't need to chase it. You just need to be open enough to receive it. Letting go unlocks true freedom. It's a concept that sounds simple, yet for most, it feels impossible. The idea of surrender often triggers resistance because we've been conditioned to believe that control is power. We are taught that success comes from effort, from managing every detail, from making sure nothing slips through our fingers. But the truth is, the more we try to control, the more we create tension. The more we grip tightly, the more life pushes back. Imagine holding onto a rope with all your strength. The longer you hold on, the more your hands ache, the more your muscles tighten, the more exhaustion sets in. Eventually, the pain outweighs the illusion of safety and you are forced to let go. But what if you had released the rope earlier? What if you had trusted that something greater was holding you, guiding you, supporting you? Letting go is not about giving up, it's about shifting into a state of trust. It's about understanding that you don't need to force life to happen, you need to align with it. Life is always unfolding in your favor, but when you resist, you create unnecessary struggle. Think about the times when things felt easy. Maybe it was a moment when you stopped overthinking, stopped worrying, and simply allowed yourself to be in the present. That's when life flows. That's when the right people show up. The right doors open and the right opportunities appear, not because you fought for them, but because you created space for them. Many people fear that if they let go, they will lose everything. But what if the opposite is true? What if letting go is the key to gaining more? When you try to control every outcome, you operate from a place of fear of failure, fear of uncertainty, fear of not being enough. That fear creates resistance, and resistance blocks the very blessings that are trying to come your way. Letting go doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you take inspired action rather than forced action. It means you move with the energy of trust rather than the energy of desperation. When you let go, you allow life to surprise you. You step into a state of flow, where things happen effortlessly, where opportunities arise without strain, where solutions present themselves naturally. Think of a river. Water doesn't fight to move forward, it simply flows. If it encounters a rock, it doesn't stop, it moves around it, over it, or finds another path. It never forces, yet it always reaches its destination. That is the power of surrender. That is the power of allowing. People who understand this live with a sense of inner peace. They no longer carry the weight of controlling everything because they know they don't have to. They trust that things are working out for them even when they don't see how. And because they trust, they are open to receiving. Letting go is a practice. It's a daily commitment to release attachment to outcomes. It's a moment-by-moment decision to choose faith over fear, surrender over struggle, flow over force. It is not passive, it is one of the most courageous things you can do. Because to let go means to trust something greater than yourself. It means to believe that you are being guided, even when you can't see the full picture. Most of the stress, anxiety, and frustration people experience is rooted in resistance to what is, resistance to change, resistance to the unknown. But when you stop resisting and start allowing, everything shifts. You begin to experience life as it is meant to be: free, expansive, abundant. When you let go, you make space. Space for new opportunities, space for deeper connections, space for inner peace. When you let go, you free yourself from the prison of overthinking, from the chains of fear, from the exhaustion of trying to control what was never yours to control in the first place. Life is not meant to be a battle. It is meant to be a dance between effort and surrender, between action and trust, between movement and stillness. And when you master that balance, you unlock a freedom most people will never experience. Your thoughts shape your reality. This is not just an idea, it is a fundamental truth that governs your life every single day. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every belief you hold sends out a signal. a frequency that shapes the experiences you attract. The way you see the world determines what you experience in it. If your mind is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, life will reflect that back to you. But if your mind is tuned to possibility, gratitude, and abundance, you will begin to see evidence of that everywhere. Think about it. Have you ever had a day where everything seemed to go wrong? You wake up late, spill your coffee, get stuck in traffic, and before you know it, the entire day feels like a disaster. But what if that first negative thought, the frustration of waking up late, set the tone for everything that followed? What if, instead of reacting with stress, you had taken a deep breath and reset your mindset? Would the rest of the day have unfolded differently? Your mind is like a powerful magnet. It is constantly pulling in experiences that match the energy you are putting out. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe you are unlucky, life will keep proving you right. But the moment you shift your thoughts, you shift your reality. This isn't wishful thinking. This is science. Your brain is wired to seek out confirmation of what you already believe. This is called the reticular activating system, a network of neurons in your brain that filters information and focuses on what matters to you. For example, if you decide to buy a red car, suddenly you start seeing red cars everywhere. They were always there, but now your brain is tuned to notice them. The same thing happens with your beliefs. If you believe the world is full of opportunities, your mind will start noticing them. If you believe success is possible, your brain will filter out everything that contradicts that belief and guide you toward the actions that align with it. Most people live on autopilot, letting old beliefs and subconscious programming dictate their lives. They absorb negative thoughts from the world around them, from the news, from social media, from past experiences, and without even realizing it, they allow those thoughts to shape their future. But what if you could take control? What if you could consciously choose the thoughts that serve you? You have that power. You can decide right now to think differently. You can decide to replace fear with faith, doubt with confidence, and scarcity with abundance. The moment you do, your external reality will begin to shift. It may not happen overnight, but every thought you change is like planting a new seed. The more you nurture it, the more it grows. Some might say, but I can't just think positive and expect my problems to disappear. And they are right. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about changing your internal state so that you become the kind of person who naturally attracts solutions, opportunities, and success. It's about stepping into the energy of the reality you want to create before it even shows up in your life. Have you ever met someone who seems to have everything effortlessly fall into place for them? It's not luck, it's alignment. They have trained their minds to focus on possibilities instead of problems. They expect things to work out, and because they believe it so deeply, life mirrors that belief back to them. This is why visualization, affirmations, and gratitude are so powerful. When you visualize your success, you train your brain to believe in it. When you affirm your worth, you reprogram your subconscious mind. When you focus on gratitude, you shift your energy to one of abundance. And when you combine all of these with action, you become unstoppable. The question is, what are you thinking about right now? What thoughts have you been repeating to yourself every day? Are they thoughts of growth, joy, and confidence? Or are they thoughts of doubt, worry, and limitation? If you want to change your life, change your thoughts first. Choose them wisely, choose them consciously, because the mind is the blueprint and reality is simply the reflection. Emotions are the energy that shape your reality. Every thought you think generates an emotional response, and those emotions send signals to the world around you. They influence your actions, your decisions, and the way you experience life. When you feel good, when you are filled with gratitude, love, joy, and peace, you operate at a higher frequency. At this level, opportunities flow, connections deepen, and life feels effortless. But when you live in fear, stress, or doubt, you create resistance. You block the very things you desire from coming into your life. Most people believe that emotions just happen to them. They wake up and let their external circumstances dictate how they feel. If something goes wrong, they become frustrated. If someone says something negative, they absorb it. But the truth is, you are not a victim of your emotions. You are the creator of them. You get to decide what you feel. And when you master your emotional state, you master your life. Think of a time when you were deeply happy. Maybe you accomplished something meaningful, or maybe you were just laughing with someone you love. In that moment, nothing else mattered. You weren't worried about the future. You weren't dwelling on the past. You were fully present. That's the power of emotion. It anchors you into the now. And when you are fully present, you step into the flow of life. But what happens when you let negative emotions take control? You shrink, you hesitate, you hold yourself back. Fear convinces you to stay small. Doubt keeps you stuck in the same patterns. Stress and anxiety cloud your vision, making it difficult to see the solutions that are right in front of you. The energy you put out creates a ripple effect, attracting more of the same experiences into your life. So how do you shift? How do you move from fear to trust, from doubt to certainty, from stress to peace? It starts with awareness. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life rather than consciously choosing how they feel. But when you pause, when you become aware of your emotions, you gain the power to change them. One of the most powerful ways to shift your emotions is through your physiology. Your body and mind are deeply connected. When you stand tall, when you breathe deeply, when you smile, your brain receives the signal that you are safe, confident, and strong. On the other hand, when you slouch, when you tense up, when your breath is shallow, your body signals stress and survival. Have you ever noticed that when you are excited, your energy is contagious? People are drawn to you. Ideas flow effortlessly. But when you are anxious, your mind races, your body tightens, and nothing seems to go right. This is why shifting your emotional state is so important. You don't have to wait for circumstances to change. You have the power to change your emotions in this very moment. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to elevate your emotional state. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your energy shifts immediately. You begin to see abundance rather than limitation. You move from frustration to appreciation, from worry to trust. Gratitude rewires your brain to recognize the good in every situation. And when you do this consistently, life begins to reflect that back to you. Another powerful way to shift your emotions is through visualization. When you close your eyes and truly feel the emotions of your desired reality before it even happens, you create a powerful signal that draws it closer to you. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you feel success, joy, or peace in your mind, your body responds as if it is happening now. This alignment creates momentum. It moves you into the energy of what you want rather than the energy of what you fear. Every emotion carries a frequency. Love, gratitude, joy, and passion exist at a high frequency. And when you live in these states, you become magnetic. You attract people, opportunities, and experiences that match your energy. But if you dwell in fear, anger, or sadness, you lower your vibration and create resistance. The key is to shift your emotional state before your external world changes, not the other way around. So ask yourself, what emotions are you carrying right now? Are they empowering you or limiting you? Are they moving you toward your vision or keeping you stuck? You have the power to choose. You have the power to shift. The moment you do, everything around you begins to shift as well. Letting go is not about giving up, it's about creating space for something greater. Most people hold on too tightly, whether it's to relationships, outcomes, beliefs, or past experiences. They cling to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves them, out of fear of the unknown. But true transformation happens when you release control, surrender to the flow of life, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Imagine you are holding onto a rope with all your strength. Your hands are clenched so tightly that they begin to ache. The longer you hold on, the more pain you feel. But the moment you let go, relief washes over you. The tension disappears, and suddenly you feel free. That is the power of surrender. It is not weakness, it is strength. It is a conscious decision to trust in something bigger than yourself. Control is an illusion. The more you try to force life to go a certain way, the more resistance you create. When you obsess over outcomes, worry about the future, or dwell on things that are out of your hands, you block the natural flow of life. You become rigid, anxious, and disconnected. But when you release attachment, when you let go of the need to control everything, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. Think about a time in your life when something didn't go the way you planned. Maybe you lost a job, faced a setback, or experienced heartbreak. At that moment, it may have felt like everything was falling apart. But looking back, can you see how that experience led you to something better? How it pushed you to grow, to shift directions, or to discover new opportunities. Life is always working for you, even when it doesn't seem like it. Every setback is a setup for something greater. Letting go does not mean you stop taking action. It means you take inspired action without attachment to the outcome. It means you do your part, then release the need to control how and when things unfold. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it, give it sunlight, and allow nature to do the rest. The same principle applies to your life. Most people carry the weight of the past with them. They hold on to regrets, mistakes, and painful memories as if reliving them will somehow change them. But the past no longer exists. The only thing keeping it alive is your attachment to it. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to fully experience the present. And the present moment is where all your power lies. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people struggle to let go. The mind wants certainty. It wants to know what will happen next. But life is unpredictable, and the more you resist uncertainty, the more suffering you create. The truth is, you don't need all the answers. You just need to trust that the answers will come at the right time. When you relax into the unknown, when you embrace uncertainty instead of fearing it, you step into a state of flow. And in that state, life becomes effortless. Have you ever noticed that the best things in life often happen when you least expect them? The right person enters your life when you stop searching. The perfect opportunity appears when you stop forcing it. This is not a coincidence. It is the result of letting go. When you stop chasing, you allow things to come to you naturally. Letting go also applies to your identity. Many people hold on to old versions of themselves, limiting beliefs, and self-imposed labels that no longer fit who they are becoming. But transformation requires release. To step into your highest potential, you must be willing to let go of who you were, so you can become who you are meant to be. So what are you holding on to that is keeping you stuck? What would happen if you surrendered, even just a little? If you stopped resisting and started trusting? If you released the need to control everything and allowed life to unfold in its own perfect timing? When you let go, you don't lose. You gain freedom, peace, and the ability to receive everything life has been waiting to give you. The present moment is all you truly have. Most people spend their lives either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. They replay old mistakes, reliving painful experiences as if doing so will somehow change them. Or they obsess over what's next, creating anxiety about things that haven't even happened yet. But the only moment that exists, the only moment that holds any real power is now. Think about how often your mind pulls you away from the present. You could be sitting with a loved one, but instead of truly listening, you're thinking about something else. You could be walking outside, but instead of feeling the sun on your skin or the wind in your hair, your mind is racing with thoughts about tomorrow. The more time you spend outside of the present, the more disconnected you become from yourself, from others, and from the flow of life. When you are fully present, life expands. Colors seem brighter, sounds become richer. You notice details that you would have otherwise missed. You experience deeper connections with the people around you. But most importantly, you feel at peace. Because in the present moment, there is no fear. Fear exists in the mind that lives in the future and the unknown. When you are truly here, fear dissolves. Being present does not mean you ignore your responsibilities or stop planning for the future. It means you stop allowing your mind to drag you away from what is real. It means you shift your awareness from endless thinking to deep experiencing. When you do this, something profound happens. You begin to feel alive in a way you never have before. Have you ever noticed how children experience life? They are completely absorbed in whatever they are doing. When they play with their whole being. When they laugh from their soul. They aren't worried about what happened yesterday or what will happen tomorrow. They are here in this moment. And that is why they radiate joy. As we grow older, we lose that natural ability to be present. We are taught to think ahead, to anticipate problems, to always be preparing for what's next. But in doing so, we forget how to just be. We forget how to enjoy this breath, this experience, this moment in time that will never come again. One of the fastest ways to return to the present is through your breath. Your breath is always happening now. When you focus on it, you bring your awareness back to this moment. Try to take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Notice how that one simple action calms your mind and centers your body. When you connect with your breath, you step out of the chaos of your thoughts and into the stillness of now. Another powerful way to be present is through mindfulness, fully engaging with whatever you are doing. If you're eating, taste your food. If you're walking, feel each step. If you're in a conversation, truly listen instead of waiting for your turn to speak. When you give your full attention to the present, everything becomes more meaningful. Life stops feeling like a blur, and you start to truly experience it. Letting go of the past is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. The past is unchangeable, yet many people carry it like a heavy weight. They hold on to regrets, relive painful moments, and define themselves by what has already happened. But the past only has power if you keep feeding it. The moment you decide to release it, you are free. The same applies to the future. Worrying about what's ahead does nothing but steal your peace. Planning is useful, but worrying is wasted energy. The future will take care of itself when it arrives. The only way to create a better future is by fully engaging in the present. The present moment is where all possibilities exist. It is where inspiration strikes, where intuition guides you, where joy is felt. The more time you spend here, the more life begins to flow effortlessly. You no longer feel rushed, anxious, or overwhelmed. Instead, you feel grounded, you feel aligned, you feel at peace. So ask yourself, are you truly here, or is your mind somewhere else? Are you experiencing life or just thinking about it? The more present you become, the more you will realize that everything you have been searching for has always been here, waiting for you to notice it. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It has the ability to shift your entire reality, transforming your mindset, your emotions, and even the energy you emit into the world. Most people spend their lives focusing on what they lack, what they don't have, what isn't working, what is missing. They train their minds to search for problems, and as a result, they experience more of them. But the moment you shift your focus to gratitude, everything changes. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is a state of being. It is a way of seeing the world through a lens of abundance rather than lack. When you practice gratitude, you signal to the universe that you already have enough, that you are already fulfilled. And when you embody that feeling, more abundance flows into your life effortlessly. It is not a coincidence, it is the law of energy. What you focus on expands. Think about how you feel when you are deeply grateful for something. Your heart opens, your mind becomes clear, you feel lighter, freer, more connected. That is because gratitude raises your vibration. It moves you out of fear, stress, and anxiety and into a state of peace, joy, and love. And when you operate from that state, you attract experiences that match that frequency. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel grateful. They believe they need a reason to feel appreciation. But this is backward. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a choice. It is a decision to acknowledge the blessings that already exist, no matter how small they may seem. And when you make that choice consistently, you begin to see that there is always something to be grateful for. You can start by noticing the simplest things: the warmth of the sun on your skin, the air filling your lungs, the fact that you woke up this morning with another chance to experience life. These are miracles that most people overlook. But when you start appreciating them, life takes on a new depth. You no longer take things for granted. You begin to see beauty in the ordinary, and that shift alone can transform your entire perspective. Gratitude also rewires your brain. Neuroscience has shown that practicing gratitude strengthens the neural pathways associated with positivity and well-being. When you make gratitude a habit, your brain becomes trained to look for the good in every situation. Instead of defaulting to negativity, it begins to search for reasons to feel grateful. This is not just a mental exercise, it is a fundamental shift in how you experience reality. Consider the challenges you faced in your life. At the time, they may have seemed overwhelming, even unbearable. But looking back, can you see how they shaped you, how they made you stronger, wiser, more resilient? Every difficulty carries a lesson. And when you learn to appreciate the lessons, even your struggles become sources of gratitude. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. When you express appreciation for others, it deepens your connection with them. It shifts your focus from what they lack to what they contribute. Imagine how much better your relationships would be if you consistently acknowledge the good in the people around you. A simple thank you can create a ripple effect, spreading positivity far beyond what you can see. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is that it dissolves fear. Fear and gratitude cannot coexist. When you are truly grateful, fear loses its grip on you. You stop worrying about what you don't have and start appreciating what you do. You stop fearing the unknown and start trusting that life is always working in your favor. Manifestation also becomes effortless when you embody gratitude. When you are thankful for what you already have, you create the energetic space to receive more. It's as if the universe recognizes your appreciation and responds by giving you even more to be grateful for. But if you constantly focus on what's missing, you block the flow of abundance. So how can you cultivate gratitude in your daily life? Start small. Each morning, before you even get out of bed, think of 3 things you are grateful for. Feel the appreciation deeply. Throughout the day, look for moments to express thanks to a friend, to a stranger, to yourself. Before you go to sleep, reflect on what went well. Over time, these small habits will rewire your mind, creating a life filled with more joy, peace, and abundance. The more you live in gratitude, the more you realize that everything you need is already within you. You stop chasing happiness and start recognizing that it has been here all along. And in that realization, you find the ultimate freedom.